This is video number 2 of the series. This is the standard ketogenic diet, where 70 to 75% of your calories come from fat, 20 to 25% come from protein, and 5 to 10% come from carbohydrates. Most people do a 75% fat, 20% protein, 5% carbohydrate. And what I'm saying by that is you're taking 75% of your calories for the day that come from your fat macros, healthy fats, and 20% of your calories for the day come from your protein sources, which are very important, and 5% or less of your carbohydrates come from your carb calories for the day. And there are some calculators out there to use. One that I typically refer people to is Maria Emmerich's keto calculator, or you can go to Ruled Me Keto calculator. And basically, this is the standard ketogenic diet. You focus on good, healthy fats. I eat plenty of fat attached to my protein sources. I may add some olive oil, some avocado oil to things, some grass-fed butter, some ghee, some coconut oil. Typically, I don't get into nut oils or anything like that because they're kind of inflammatory. The omega-6 count is a little higher, and I want my inflammatory markers to stay lower in my body. Some people may add in something like a bulletproof coffee from time to time, but I really only recommend that in the adaptation phase or in maintenance phase. Once you've been doing ketogenics for, I would say, probably 2 to 3 months, there's no reason to keep having excessive amounts of fat in your coffee. Once you get to a keto adapted phase or a fat adapted phase, what ends up happening is keto adapted is when your body becomes used to what you're doing. Fat adapted is where your body now starts to really rely on fat sources as its primary fuel source, and no longer is it thriving or trying to have you go back to sugar sources. It's now okay for it to be on a fat-sourced energy source. Some of typical foods that I would eat in a day are, if I'm having 3 meals a day in the beginning and I'm a new person and I want to try to transition, I might have a couple tablespoons of like a Kerrygold butter or a Finlandia butter, a grass-fed butter. It doesn't have to be grass-fed. They just have a higher omega count and K2 count, which K2 is an essential vitamin as well. It's a fat-soluble vitamin. And if you can get just a regular real Land O'Lakes butter or just your generic real butter, no country crock, no blue bonnet margarine, nothing, no canola oil additives, no soy additives, no vegetable oil additives in your butter. And when you look at the back of it in the ingredients, it should say like sweet cream, enzymes, and milk or something like that, and that's it. It should be only 3 or 4 ingredients. That's it. And it shouldn't say any types of oils from vegetables on it. They do have a real butter and olive oil blend from Land O'Lakes. It's a pretty good butter as well. I would make an exception for that because that's an acceptable oil on keto. Now, I have some other videos here that explain how to choose the right olive oil and stuff like that. And I have some videos on what butters to stay away from. You don't want margarines. You don't want anything with canola oil. You don't want anything with soy or vegetable oil in it. So, what a typical breakfast for somebody starting out would be is maybe, 3, 4, 5 eggs with a couple, like a tablespoon of butter on it, or 2 tablespoons of butter, maybe 3 or 4 or 5 pieces of bacon or something like that. Or you might make yourself a little piece of steak from leftover from the night before, or you might have some clean sausages that don't have a lot of sugars like maltodextrin, dextrose, sucrose, things of that nature in there. Then lunch might be a really hefty salad with some spring salad greens, or maybe just a spinach salad, and you might dice up a little bit of tomato, a little bit of green pepper, a little bit of onion or something on it, and just make a homemade, like an olive oil or balsamic vinaigrette that's really, really super clean, and drizzle it over the top of it. You might throw a little bit of ham or some cheese on top of it, but keep the cheese minimal because the cheese can be kind of inflammatory. A lot of people do cheese on a ketogenic diet, and they don't realize the reason that they're stalling a lot or the weight loss slows down a lot is because they're eating excessive amounts of nuts, dairy, cheese, things of this nature, and they're highly stressed all the time. Stress can also cause you to stall out on your weight loss journey. So eating clean is a great way to practice these types of things. And then let's just say for dinner you have a nice juicy steak, and you go get some rice cauliflower, or you get a fresh head of cauliflower and you grate it down, and then you boil it and you turn it into a cauliflower mash, where you put a couple tablespoons of butter and some cheese and stuff, some salt and pepper, some garlic in it, and you make your own faux like mashed potatoes, but you're using rice cauliflower or cauliflower that you've boiled down and mashed to make a potato-like structure, right? But it's not. It's a lot healthier. So, or you have some broccoli, maybe another salad or something like that, and you drizzle some evu on top of it, some extra virgin olive oil, or you put some avocado oil on top of it, or a little coconut oil. You make your own homemade, with some coconut aminos or something like that. You make your own. This is a standard ketogenic diet: 75% fat, 20% protein, 5% or less calories coming from your carbs. Go on a keto calculator, type in your height, your weight, your age, your body fat percentage, and it will give you a printout at the bottom of the calculator. Maria Emmerich has one, and Ruled Me Keto Calculator has one that I like to use and recommend people to. And if you want to track your macros, you can use MyFitnessPal, Senza, Carb Manager, or Carb Counter, whatever it's called. One's called Stupid Simple Keto. Stupid Simple Keto is another one. MyFitnessPal is the most popular one out of the group, though. Anyway, I hope this is of some help for you. If you have any questions, leave it in the comment box below. If you haven't subscribed, please do so and hit that little bell notification. I appreciate you. Thank you.